What's going on, guys? It's Matt Winning at winningstrength.com, and we're doing the Winning Wednesday on YouTube. We're going to be posting some longer format videos. I found another really good YouTube editor slash filmer, but I wanted to kind of switch stuff that I was doing over on Instagram to here on YouTube to not only help reach more people potentially, but also create some monetization for the knowledge that's being applied. It's not much, but I think over time, as people find these videos and start to learn the educational value of this type of stuff, we should start to see some growth in that particular arena and slowly make this channel in the green, because as you guys well know, or if I've told you before, the YouTube channel, ever since it's been kind of launched, has always ran in the red, meaning it's costing me money to make you guys videos, educational videos, in the hopes that these videos one day will get slightly viral or at least worth my time. Being at year 4, it's getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know if this is worth it, but I look at it as leaving a lineage for people in the future to find this information and hopefully get better. What I wanted to talk about today was making sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people. Now, this comes in at a weird scenario in my particular business right now. And not naming any names or anything like that, but we have struggled to have a proper media team, i.e. website development, for a while. Meaning, like, we've had problems with sponsors, not fulfilling like emails, not getting back to people at a proper time. And this is more towards the business side of things. We've had a lot of typos on Train Heroic, and not so much recently, but in the past couple of years, that would have been easily fixed if somebody would have been watching that was into working out and actually cared about what they were putting out. That's why my assistant Simon will now be in charge of Train Heroic. He's been working out with me for 3.5, 4 years. He knows the system pretty much in and out. He's getting his master's degree and helps me with fire departments, and has been doing so for a while. So point is now I got somebody in my corner for the Train Heroic app that's actually going to be able to put this into perspective, make it a better product for you guys, while still maintaining the integrity of winningstrength.com, which I feel was falling flat. But the point is that do not settle for people that will not be 100% in your corner. I've had this particular issue / problem with media type stuff for the last 1.5 years or so. So 2022, we're doing so well that I don't see some of the stuff slipping through the cracks. One, because revenue is really, really good. I get marginal complaints. There's a lot of shit that just gets brushed under the table. By the end of 2023, the economy starts to go down, and as we know, well, as I know, people, when the economy starts to go bad, the first thing that takes a huge hit is things that people want, not things that people need. Meaning, like, everybody has to eat. So when groceries go up, it doesn't matter. People are still going to buy groceries. When gas goes up, it's not going to change anything, because people need gas to go to work and to function. House payments are the same. But when you start looking at things like personal training, strength conditioning help, whether it be manuals or online coaching, you start to see those particular areas start to suffer because they are what we consider a luxury. Now, do I think that what I do is a luxury? Absolutely not. I think that what I do is a necessity, especially to people nowadays that have possible or most likely sit-down jobs and things where they're not getting enough physical activity. We have an obesity issue. We have blood work issues constantly. We're completely unhealthy as a society. This new generation of kids growing up is the first generation, roughly, that will live less than the parents lived before. And some of that is, and I'm speaking as a slightly older generation, some of that's our fault. We've basically pushed all this fast food on kids. We've reduced physical fitness. Some places don't even have gym classes. Nobody's educated in physical fitness or posture awareness. We have a lot of these different factors that are causing this issue, and I wouldn't say one of them is necessarily more to blame than the other. But the problem is that we've let companies such as Nabisco, Hostess, all these companies make these highly palatable foods that are extremely addictive as far as blood sugar and high fructose corn syrup and things like that. And what we have found is like kids eat simple shit because parents are too busy to show anybody how to cook, make things from scratch, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how many times, and this is something that I've seen in the last like month that I've really like analyzed. I don't know how many times I've seen people pull into a car, not even get out of their car, and go to the drive-thru at McDonald's for dinner, right? And the line is going out the street because parents don't want to cook. It's almost unbelievable. And here's the thing with this personal story is like when I was a kid, I had a buddy that his parents would never allow him to go out and eat very much, and he wasn't allowed to have any junk food in the house. So if you went to his house, there wasn't any chips, there wasn't any gummies, there wasn't any candy bars, there was no like Kool-Aid in the refrigerator. And at the time, all of us thought, man, this kid's parents and them, they're crazy. Like, they're not letting this kid do anything. As I got older, I'm like, man, they were the smartest parents in the whole neighborhood. They were trying to teach my friend at the time, they were trying to teach him to live what actual humans are supposed to live like. His mom always cooked at home. It was very rare that they went out to eat. It was just a lot of things that now I look back and go, man, that's how you'd really want it done. And I'm a victim of that as well. I mean, I go out and eat fairly constant. I try to pick more selective foods. I wouldn't say that I eat clean all the time, but I eat fairly clean most of the time. And I try to go to places where I actually sit down and actually eat, not a lot of fast food. So point being is when you're surrounding yourself, and sometimes that's genetic, meaning like surrounding yourself with good people, back to my original thing, surrounding yourself with good people sometimes can be really hard to do. And sometimes when you have bad people around you, getting away from those bad people is even harder to do. Sometimes it takes legality, sometimes it takes nearly threatening things for that to happen. And a lot of times, a lot of those problems are existing because we are ignorant. I was put into this media deal, luckily not signing anything that was too drastic paperwork wise because I was in a rush and my other media team had fallen by the wayside. They had got a huge contract with another massive business, and they basically said, screw you to all of the small contracts that they had, and I was included at the time. So I'm rushing to find another company. Guy kind of swoos me over on everything, and we end up working together. And again, at first, everything was pretty good. After about a year and a half, 2 years, I started seeing small holes, but we were making progress and making money. So I didn't really realize how bad it really was. Case in point, I get on a call today before I realize that I have everything back in place from ATP Labs, which has been a massive and awesome sponsor for me for about the past 3 to 5 years. I think around 2021 maybe. And as we started to talk about things that we need to transition to and stuff that they demand and stuff that I've seen in the market, we start realizing that my media team was ghosting emails, wasn't getting back to them in the proper time, wasn't doing the things they needed to be doing, which was, again, another huge nail in the coffin, going, why would you treat a sponsor like that when that's my connection, And that's when you start realizing that some people just don't care. They don't care about how you look, even if they're running your business, because they feel like either one, they're too busy with other projects, or two, deep down, they're just using you for their monetary gain. And so what you start to find is be careful. So what I'm going to get at this whole point is be careful with signing contracts. Never sign contracts that you don't have a lawyer look at. It's very important because wording means a lot. Luckily for me, my contract was expired and the contract wasn't severe and it was easy for me to get out of. But there are a lot of people that sign off on a lot of crazy shit because it's kind of like when you go to get that new car, you don't think about the car payment. You just want the car. And then 6 months into the car, you're like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have done that. That hurt me because now I'm struggling month to month. I mean, you hear this all the time. So do things in a timely fashion, because no matter where you're at this particular time, those things could lead to horrible problems down the road. as I saw these problems starting to get more and more severe and more more problematic, was a great time to cut this stuff back. So I'm really posting this video to tell you guys, listen, look at the steps that you're making. This can be utilized thought process wise in training. Like, how many people do you know that go into the gym and have no plan on what they're doing? I mean, I would say probably 75% of the population that goes in and works out, they might know what muscle group they want to train or maybe what exercise, but how are they periodizing? How are they deloading? How are they trying to structure the training so that their body is actually getting better from the training versus just working hard, which seems to be everybody's like primary objective is, oh man, I worked out so hard yesterday, I puked, or I worked out so hard yesterday, my shoulders feel like they're going to die for 5 days. Those are horrible signs of a proper training program. We could look at that in business, just like what I was talking about this time. Like, make sure you're looking before you leap. Like, are you looking at contracts? Are you looking at agreements? Are you making sure that things are at least equal or in your favor if something goes bad? Because the thing of it is relationships like that, they go bad out of nowhere. They start to have problems out of nowhere. And a lot of times, if you're not real educated in what's going on with your, for instance, my website, like, I didn't realize all the issues because I was being kind of blocked from seeing the issues and just unaware of what issues were happening. So point being is, always be prepared for what you're doing. Always research something, slow down, and try not to take any big jumps. Usually if you take small jumps and you make a small error, it's not a big deal. But if you take big jumps and you have a huge error, it could mean money, it could mean injuries, it could mean, complete disability and not being able to train anymore. If you look at it from a fitness perspective, it could be losing friends, relationships, all kinds of stuff. So my point is everything is built very, very slow and one brick at a time. Treat your training and your business the same way. So I hope this helps you guys out a little bit. And if you're starting to make some decisions in your life, take a look at the whole picture and make sure that you're going to make the right jump in what you do. Talk to you guys later.